is arguably too much money. It's too much money. If you're gonna have a Bentley, you want a Bentley, you know, which is why there was loads and loads of interest, because the bangers and cash guys have bought this one. Right then, guys, we're just going to have a real quick look at the top performers, really, the cars that romped on a little bit, caused lots of interest, and indeed achieved strong money. You know, starting with the Vauxhall Wyvern, which is quite a rare car. Don't see many Wyverns. You don't see Wyverns in this condition. That's top and bottom of it. So there was a fair bit of pre-sale interest in the car. Nice being silver. You know, let's be honest, in this period, there was an awful lot of dull blacks, weren't there? And I like black, don't get me wrong, but it makes a nice change. So this was guided 10 to 12,000 and did 16,250, so it did strong money, really, for a Vauxhall Wyvern. But, as I say, it's a beautiful car, lovely car. Sadly, here due to, or it's arrived due to some sad circumstances. It's the nature of the beast, isn't it? So hopefully the vendor will use that money to go and enjoy himself and perhaps get a different car and have a load of fun in slightly different avenue, maybe. So I'm really pleased it did well. So that's one. And then there's a Porsche 911 over here that again caused quite a bit of interest. The Porsches are all over the place. You look at some and they're guided real sensible, real cheap, and then another one comes in and the money's up there and it's been splattered off an exhaust, look. Yeah, so Tom's gonna have to remind me of the figures on this car.
So this sold for 15,100, estimate was 8 to 10.
There you go, you see. So, and this is the importance of cars arriving sensibly reserved, sensibly guided, because you need that pre-sale engagement to get people to come, to travel, to look, to then appreciate, you know, good ones from bad ones. And you will generally find the good ones will find their own level. They will find their own money. The market dictates them the value. So when you get one that comes in with an inflated reserve and an inflated guide, people don't come to travel. They think, ah, no, it's too dear. No point. Come in with a sensible guide, you get lots of pre-sale interest, boom, away you go. So there you go, £15,000. Looks a lot of car, doesn't it? But it does look a lot of car. It really does. And then Bluebird, the Bluebird down there, that romped on. What was the guide on that?
The guide was 2 to 3.
Yeah, there you go.
2
to £3,000, and it did 7.5. Did it? 7.2?
Yes.
7.5. Which again is arguably too much money. It's too much money. But here we are talking about things that have flown. You all right with that?
Yeah.
Jolly good. The Bluebird is one of those cars. Go and find another one, because you can't find another one.
No.
You know, there'll be another one next year. There'll be that one coming back next year, because the bangers and cash guys have bought this one, and I can't quite work out for why. Well, I know why, but they've overbought it. So, you know, we keep saying, oh God, they've done it again. They've done it again. Lovely, and it'll make a stunning car, but they've overbought it. Yeah. You know, it should have started with a 4, not a 7. So they're already on the back foot. It is a great car, it really, really is. Bit of paintwork on that wheel arch. Look, if you're being picky, it wants a bit of lacquer on the bonnet and boot, but a bit on there, and it wants detailing under the bonnet and a big valet. And this is another one, a bit like the Honda we spoke about. You can't wear that car out mechanically. It will just go and go and go and go and go. But they have overbought it.
They have, yeah.
Most definitely. So again, smashed its estimate, did really well. There's a Bentley over here. Same thing applies. Well, no, that's not true actually. The Bentley over here did really well because look at it. So if you're going to have a Bentley, you want a Bentley, you know. So I'll be honest, it's a bit too much for me. I prefer a standard, unmolested, sort of blend in a little bit more. But a lot of people buy a Bentley for a bit of flash. You don't get any more flash than that one, do you? And so there it was, did 30 some?
Yeah, £30,800
Yeah,
was guided at 19 to 25.
There you go, yeah. So it had a £20,000 guide, give or take, and it did just north of 30. And it did just north of 30 because it's lovely and it's different. It's different. It's not worth any more than them others, really, but there's loads of them and there's one of them. That's top and bottom of it. So, yeah. So I'm pleased to say it did really well. I think the other two both sold. I'm sure all sold. I'm sure they did. So that's good, isn't it? We'll nip down the road and have a look at some more, shall we?
Yeah, there's the Range Rover outside, isn't there?
Ah, there you go. Yeah, Range Rover. I'll tell you what else there is outside. There's a tractor around there. An old David
oh, yeah,
Brown.
that bumped on, didn't it?
That just went on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. So that Range Rover Classic there, Tom, did 11 something?
It did 11 on the dot.
£11,000. Yeah.
Estimate was 4 to 5.
Yes, and I can't quite understand, being completely honest, why it did 11. Mine's it clean, but yeah. It don't look a bad old Jeep, I suppose, but even so, still strong money for an old
oh, absolutely,
an old Range Rover. But again, you know, people, every week we get people asking about, you know, reserves and all the rest of it. Reserves are kind of irrelevant. That's a personal figure to yourself. You know, what you would be happy with, because the market will tell you what the car's worth, really. And it did with that one, didn't it? You know, so so reserve figure, just put on a figure that you can sort of sleep with, and then hope that other people value things more, which is so often the case, like that. Yeah. And then just look round here, look, there's a tractor round here. All the leaves have come off the trees over the weekend, look. So there's a David Brown round here that arrived with a 4,000 to 5,000 reserve, if memory guide, if memory serves. There it is round here, look. So it arrived 4,000 to 5,000. There you go. And it did £16,000. Yeah. 16,000. And I remember being in the room thinking, what have we missed? You know, I'm not saying it's not worth it, but that's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah. So, and she's a lovely little tractor, don't get me wrong. She's a lovely little thing, little power loader, look, grass cutter and all the rest of it. Industrial, so you got front wheel brakes. That's about the only real difference as far as I could tell. I used to, when I was 16, when I was a little kid, my father bought one, a 995, slightly bigger, industrial, in yellow. Should we go around there because of that noise? A yellow industrial, much the same thing. When I was 16, I used to use it. I used to commute with it to work and stuff because I had a January birthday. So the moped came along back in the springtime, but in the early part of the year, I was in the tractor, and I loved it. Radio on, heater on, it was great. It was a freedom. So 16, and I was away. Brilliant. I must have done hundreds and hundreds of miles in the old thing. Brilliant. So then when that one came, I saw it on a truck. It was up the road there. I thought, oh, just transports you back, doesn't it? Yeah. Brilliant. Anyway, we'll look down at P1 and see what's down there. Anyway, Capri caused loads of interest. Barn find, Mark 1 Capri that's not rotten. I'm sure you're going to find a couple of areas, aren't you? Because you generally do, don't you? Let's be honest. But on the face of it, not rotten. Been stored a long time, been stored pretty well, I would suggest. So a very, very good project for you. and a real good usable car at the end of it. That's the thing. So, you know, you can almost money in the bank really, aren't they? However, if I can get the bonnet open, hang on. However, don't forget, little handles broke. Don't forget, it will want some love and some recommissioning. And there's an argument to say it was maybe over-purchased, maybe. You know, it was guided too low, 15 to 2,000, or 15 to 2.5, which is why there was loads and loads of interest. And it finished up at 8,000, Tom?
Yeah.
£8,000. Some people are going to be saying, no, far too dear, but it's solid. So all right, you want a bit of love and some recommissioning. Actually, if you think about it, once you actually start adding all the figures up, it probably wasn't too dear. It was just guided too low, in all fairness. But anyway, it sold well, caused lots of interest, and a very, very worthy project. I'd like to see it finished, definitely. And the little little MG, the little T-Type, little Midget here, look. Again, it's just a little sweetie. It's one of them cars that just draws you in. It's lovely. Correct block tread tyres, look. It's just a little sweetie. It's got a Ford engine in for some reason that's been in it forever, for years. So I'm assuming the original one must have conked. And so they slipped a little Ford in there that looks like it's grown there. She's just a little darling. It really is. So remind me of these figures, Tom.
This one sold for 18,250. Its guide was 8 to 10.
There you go. Well, 8 to 10. You know, we all knew it was worth more than that, didn't we? So really, again, super sensible guide. And yeah, 18. I think that's actually quite strong money in today's climate with T-types. They're not on fire, you know. So I thought that car did really well, but deserved to do really well.
Absolutely.
You know. So generally speaking, I feel we had a good auction. As ever, some things struggled a bit, some things did really, really well. That's auctions, you know. That is auctions. So we now ship a load of stuff out and get a few more brought in, ready for our December, which we're only having a small one. It's a one-day, 100 cars, a few motorbikes in that number, and 100 memorabilia lots. So nice little manageable auction just before Christmas. So see you all soon.